Will Marcus Rashford succeed at Aston Villa? Now, Marcus Rashford has left Manchester United on loan till the end of the season to Aston Villa, who are arguably, actually not arguably, factually are a much better club than Manchester United at the moment. They're in the Champions League, they're higher than us in the Premier League table, and you know what? They probably have a better manager as well at the moment, or let's say a more experienced manager in Unai Emery. Now, why I think Marcus Rashford will succeed at Aston Villa? Because, first of all, is Marcus Rashford, and he's got a point to prove. He is going to want to prove Ruben Amorim wrong. He's going to want to put himself in the shop window, because I genuinely think it is over between Marcus Rashford and Manchester United. It's like when you and your ex split up, but you've still got a house together, and you sort of have to still live together until one of you decides to move out. And Marcus Rashford is that one that's forcing the move, and he's trying to move out, but right now it's still like temporary basis, and you still have to deal with it. But I generally think Marcus Rashford will succeed at Aston Villa, and I'm going to tell you why in this video, but I'm going to also throw in a few aspects to why he also may not. But I'll give you my opinion first on why I think he will succeed. Now, number one, he's got a world-class manager in Unai Emery. Second of all, he's Marcus Rashford. Like, I know that over the last 18 months, the pedigree of Marcus Rashford has kind of lost its value, but he's still Marcus Rashford on his day, and when he actually wants to play, you could say he is arguably one of the best wingers in the Premier League, and probably one of England's best wingers, especially on that left wing. Number three, he'll be in a system that suits him and he's also familiar with. Now, I look back at that first season under Erik ten Hag, where Marcus Rashford scored 30 goals and got 11 assists in that season. Now, that was the season where Erik ten Hag threw his tactics out the window and focused on winning. And that system was a 4-2-3-1. And what formation does Unai Emery play at Aston Villa? That's right, a 4-2-3-1. So Marcus Rashford will own that left midfield or that left wing spot, and maybe he might even own that right wing, that striker spot, as well as Ollie Watkins is apparently out injured or may suffer a bit of an injury setback after the Wolves game. So the thing is about Aston Villa is that they sold John Duran and they've got Ollie Watkins, but those two players could only play centre forward, where Marcus Rashford's a bit more versatile. He can play on both sides of the wing and he can play as a striker as well. Obviously, we know that Marcus Rashford isn't as good on the right wing, but he's always suited to the left wing spot. The best version of Marcus Rashford that I've ever seen at Manchester United was definitely that season under Erik ten Hag. And I have a bet with my mate Aidan that, if he's watching this, but Marcus Rashford will score more than 10 goals for Aston Villa. Aidan disagrees. I generally agree that Rashford will absolutely boss it at Aston Villa. And I'll put up some pictures up now of Aston Villa and their build-up play. But their version of the 4-2-3-1 formation is very attacking. Now, defensively, Aston Villa are questionable, but I'm a United fan. I'm only going to talk about a Manchester United player and why Rashford will fit into this system. Because Jacob Ramsey is a very good playmaker. He's a very good winger, wide midfielder, whatever position he is known for. But Rashford will nail down that position. Now, I think Unai Emery will rotate at the start. But I think once he sees Rashford's quality, and if Rashford puts in the work and the effort, I can guarantee you he will have that left wing spot nailed down. Now, Rashford's already come out and said in his interview that it's only a short-term deal. So he's kind of slipped up a little bit there, because Aston Villa do have a 40 million buy option for Marcus Rashford if they really want him. However, Rashford clearly doesn't see this as a long-term project at Aston Villa. He's clearly seen it as a temporary fix just to play football and put himself in the shop window. And that's why I think he'll succeed, because Rashford's probably under the impression that if he balls out and plays amazingly like we know he can, I think he will think that so many clubs around Europe will want him again. And I think he's kind of a bit of a wake-up call in January, because he wanted the likes of AC Milan, Barcelona as the clubs he wanted to go to. He wanted out of England, he wanted to move abroad. However, I think Rashford's had a massive wake-up call that he isn't as in demand as he once was 18 months to 24 months ago. So that's why I generally believe Rashford will succeed at Aston Villa, because, like I said, he's got a point to prove. His future of his career is in the palm of his hands. Only he can save the rest of his career. Clearly, it's not going to work out at Manchester United, and that's why he's going to put himself in the shop window to try and get a great move and still have a great legacy and become that pedigree type player that he once was. Because I think Rashford is a brilliant player, and he'll learn a lot from Unai Emery. Unai Emery is very position strict and will want certain requirements from Rashford, and I feel like that if Rashford is really all about reviving his career and getting back to the player that he once was, then I definitely think that Unai Emery is a perfect fit for a player like Marcus Rashford at this point in his career. However, like I said at the start of the video, I am going to mention a bit of why I think Marcus Rashford may not succeed. And it could generally be to why Ruben Amorim hasn't played him. It could generally be an attitude problem. It could generally be an effort, like a poor effort value. And it's disappointing because you look at Marcus Rashford and you see the quality that he has. I mean, Rashford can single-handedly win any game for any team in this current day and age of football on his best. Now, you can say that about a lot of players, like a Mo Salah, a Vinicius Jr., an Erling Haaland, or like a Kylian Mbappe. I generally think Rashford is up there when it comes to pure quality, but he just doesn't have the consistency. And that's why I think Ruben Amorim hasn't trained with him, or hasn't played him, should I say. Because Ruben Amorim has been watching this player day in, day out. He's at a new club, and he's laying down the foundations. Either you fit in with me and my system, and we'll go forward together, or you don't, and you're gone. Now, Rashford, clearly they've had some disagreement issues, and Rashford is on his way out, and that's why he's at Aston Villa. So I generally think that Marcus Rashford will not play at Manchester United ever again, which is a shame because I've backed Marcus Rashford for so long, but I generally think our relationship is over. But you look at Rashford for the last 18 months, and this was even under Erik ten Hag. He hasn't been consistent, he hasn't been good when it comes to quality, and he's just been really poor. Now, I'm not going to sit here and call my manager stupid. Ruben Amorim doesn't seem like a stupid man. He's a man with morals. He's a man with principle. He's a man with almost a plan. And Rashford doesn't fit into that. He's come out and said that he wants Rashford to play for Manchester United. But if a player is not willing to put in the effort or like stick to the plan or get on board with the idea, he's not going to play him. And that's as simple as that. So this is when Rashford has kind of done this to himself. Ruben Amorim has publicly slated him, and he's also slated quite a few players when it comes to position awareness, when it comes to quality, when it comes to, you could say, ambition and drive. Ruben Amorim will not play these players if they aren't up for it. And that's why I feel like you see United really struggling at the moment, because we've got players playing out of position and in a system that they're not used to. And that will take time to get used to. But Ruben Amorim has said that Marcus Rashford should be playing for Manchester United. We're a better team with Marcus Rashford, but it's Rashford who doesn't want it. And that's the mentality where it comes back to Aston Villa, that why he may not succeed, because maybe he actually has fallen out in love with football. Maybe it is just a chore to him now. Maybe he needs to do a David De Gea and take a year off football and come back. But that would just ruin his career. So I think with the quality that Marcus Rashford has, he definitely could succeed at Aston Villa. But with the mentality side, he could shoot himself in the foot, and generally this could be the end of Marcus Rashford. But if you've made this far into the video, thank you for watching. Leave a like on the video. Let me know in the comments down below on your thoughts on Marcus Rashford, and what are your thoughts on him? Do you think he'll succeed at Aston Villa, or do you think he will not, should we say? But anyway, thank you for watching. Just leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.